Wealthy. Do you want to be financially free or do you want to be wealthy? Well, it's not an or, it's and. You want to be financially free and you want to be wealthy. You want to be financially free on your way to being wealthy. That's where we're headed. That's where our goal is. Life's a game and games are fun. Business is a game and games are fun. Real estate's a game and games are fun. Money's a game and games are fun. Guess what? You are in the matrix. You're playing the game. Even if you don't think you're playing the game, you're playing the game. If you're on this earth, you're playing the game. And there's winners and there's losers. And there's people that are doing really well, and there's people that are not doing well. And the reason some people are doing well and some people are not doing well is because those people have got a couple things in common. Number one, they know how to play the game. They just know how to play the game. They know where the secrets are. They know the cheat codes. When I play games with my 10-year-old twin granddaughters, they kick my trash. If it's a video game, everybody kicks my trash. Now, I'm older, I'm smarter, I'm more experienced than all of them. Well, how come I get my butt kicked? Because I don't know the rules of that game. I don't know the cheat codes. I don't know how to play it. As a result, I lose. In the game of life, you need to learn the codes. You need to learn the rules. You need to learn the strategies of the successful people. And the way you do that is if you can study successful people. Now, I'm going to take you through the 5 steps, and I'm going to go kind of quickly on this one. The 5 steps to financial freedom and 7 steps to wealth. This is not an or question. This is an and question. All of you, the first thing is we got to get you some financial freedom. You're under too much pressure at this first junction, and then we want to continue to work on and get you wealthy. So there's 5 steps to freedom, 7 steps to wealth. Now, when we talk about the 5 steps, these are all in the books, and these books are free. And you're welcome to go to successmoneyfoundation.org and download and read them there. If you want to order them on Amazon, you can get them for nonprofit pricing. We're 67% off and 80% off because Amazon has a nonprofit entity that we can give our books away for free, almost for free. We give them for free away on the website, and then you can get them for that's on Amazon for a really, really small amount of money. Now, the second piece is if you really want to study successful people, you need to get the second book, which is Success and Money, 3 books in 1. So you can learn the 5 steps, the 7 steps. You can learn book summaries of the top books that are out there and study successful people and quotes. You know, if you can learn what people think and how they think, it's all in the quotes. And so this is the upsided version of it. There's 2 prices. One is a much bigger one than the other one. So if you've got a little more money, you get the big one. Now, the way you go through this is simply go to successmoneyfoundation.org and then go down to number 2, go to the top right corner and then go over to 2, which is our courses. And then go down to the free books, the teachers, parent tools, quotes, and downloads. There's all kinds of resource materials for parents and teachers and everyone else to be able to use. And then you simply look on the free books and you can read the books there. You can download a lot of the tools that we use. There's teaching tools. If you got a class, if you have a high school class or an elementary school class or college class you want to teach, well, all the material's right there. You can teach it. As a parent, you can teach it. And then, of course, there's quotes and summaries. Now, the 5 steps to financial freedom, 7 steps to wealth, you know, you got to make more money. As I'm looking at people around the world, you have to just figure out how to make more money. You need to make more money with your job. Your job is, for most people, is going to be the biggest income producing asset that you have until you get into step 6. That's your job. Now, you need to learn how to make more money. To do that, you study other people. And so you simply go to the successmoneyfoundation.org and you go to the courses, and then you can pull this one up, which is to make more money with your job. Now, we're going to have a new class that we're going to be doing that will help you to do that. But we want you to make more money. You've got to figure out how to make more money. And if somebody's not willing to pay that money, then you got to go find somebody who is. You need a small business, but the real question is, how are you making the most money? How are you making the most money? For many of you, it's the job. You'll make more money at your job than you will a small business, unless you're inclined to be a small business. Now, if you want to build a small business, your goal is to make a big business out of it. And you start with the classes by Steve Gibson, the 25 ways to make more money with your small business. Now, this is small business, your job, real estate, it doesn't matter. These are techniques and strategies you can use for all those things. Number 3 is you need to study successful people. You need to study successful people. Who do you study? You study Buffett. I've read his books for 20 years about books about him. I don't think he's ever written a book, but everybody's written about him. Tony Robbins, friend of mine that I've known forever. Dave Ramsey, Elon Musk, Robert Kiyosaki, Robert Allen, all these guys that are really successful. You need to study them. Millionaire psychology. You need to study the rules of the game. You need to solve bigger problems and you need to add more value. That's crucial on making more money. Number two, you need to separate your money. You need to physically figure out where your money is going, where it's coming into and where it's going. You need to give a little bit of it away. Now, some of you are just stretched where you don't have any real money to be able to do that. Give your time, give your energies. Help someone else, time or money. If you don't have those resources, automatically invest. This is the key. If you want to be really successful, you need to figure out how to take 10% or 20% of your revenue and get it into automatically invest. And that's a big number. And that's a big number if you want to be successful. Now, if it was 20%, every 5 years, you would have made as much money as 1 year of working. If you're doing 10%, you have to work 10 years and at 10% to equal 1 year of savings to be equal. So if whatever you're making, that's why that bigger number. And the real key is, how can I get more money into the investment? How do you get more money in the investment? Ring the bell, get a reward, get it invested. Okay, that's key. And the more money you can make and get it into invested is the key. The reason we like automatic is because you make the decision once, then you automatically set it in motion so that it automatically does it. As I've ran massive, massive companies and lots of real estate and rentals and mortgages and stuff like that, I put everything on automatically as I can. So I'm never late, I never miss a payment, and it always just runs. Now, in investing, the one guy that we love more than anything is Warren Buffett. He is the poster child. My dad is 4 days older than Buffett, and my dad had that same folksy, easy to understand systems. Now, my dad never made the kind of money that Buffett made, but he still taught us by example. And he didn't sit down and teach us. We did it by doing. We did it by example. Now, all of you need to have an investment account. It needs to be a separate investment account. All of you do. And as you make money, you need to get that money put into your investment account. Just that simple. And it needs to be separate from the rest of your world. You're going to separate it. You're going to put money into number 4. And the more money you can put in there, the faster you can be financially free. That's key. Now, some places around the world, you get a benefit if you have a retirement account. And all that is taxes. The only difference is taxes. So in America, we have a Roth IRA. And Roth, it means that we don't get a tax break today on the money, but we never have to pay any taxes on it. Regular investment account for us in America, you get a tax break. They're encouraging you get a tax break, but you got to pay taxes later. Same with the 401k. So you can start with a simple investment account. You don't need a retirement account. There are retirement accounts for school teachers and things like that. That's separate. That's another account. You need one that you're running on your own from your job. Now, asset allocation, as you get money into that account, you're either going to loan and own, loan versus own, and you can do both. As you take 100 of something, maybe 30% of it's in loan. You're loaning money to corporations and schools and governments, certificates of deposit. You're getting a higher rate of return versus owning. I own stock, I own real estate, I own crypto, I own an asset. And asset allocation just really means how much are you putting wherever you're putting that. Now, some of you are saying, we're going to put a little money in the stock market. Now, why do we start with this something as simple as the stock market? Because we're going to get you started. We just want you to get you started, get your investment account going. When I was just a young teenager, my dad took me to the stockbroker and we actually opened up a stock account. And I remember looking at different companies and studying companies, and I would invest my money in those companies as an early teenager. And we didn't talk about it, we did it. He pulled the trigger. He did it. And he took me there and we actually opened one as a young teen. So he gave me the experience. Good, bad, doesn't matter. It's experience. Then you learn from your experience. Now, there's 4 ways to do the stock market. And again, the stock market, automatically invest in the stock market isn't your answer. It is part of this system. Number one, you can pick and choose. But guess what? If you pick and choose, you lose. The vast majority of people should not be spending their time picking and choosing. The vast majority of people should be spending their time in making more money. We want to put our stock into automatic mutual funds. And mutual funds where you pay an individual and he manages a big fund and he picks and chooses. The problem is the fees. The fees are higher when they pick and choose. And mutual funds. Number three is the S&P 500. The 500 biggest companies in America is an index fund. An index, they are not making decisions. They're just saying, these are the 500 biggest companies and we're going to own stock in these 500. The fees are dramatically less than if somebody's managing it. And number four is Berkshire Hathaway. And the reason we love Berkshire so much is that it's a stock. You pay a one-time small commission when you buy the stock and there's never any money under management. So if they all made the same rate of return, you'll naturally make more money with the one with the less fees. Okay. Now, number five is to save and spend. This is where people are getting really upside down. It's because they're not making enough money in step number one. And the governments of the world can't balance their budget. So what are they doing? They're printing more money. So everything costs more. Rent costs more. Gas costs more. Utilities, food, everything is getting more and more expensive. And it's not your fault. But that's the game. That's the game. So that's the game they're playing. And as a result, we can't act like governments do, federal governments around the world where they can just print money and borrow more money and stuff. It's causing inflation, and that inflation is really hurting you. So you've got to learn how to save. And you're not going to save 3 to 6 months. You're going to save about a month. You're going to have about a 1 month savings account. Because guess what? If you go past 1 month, you can always sell your stock. You can always sell your stock and use it for an emergency. So now the save and spend, there's the 5 steps. You make more money, you separate it, you give it, you invest it, and then you spend it. And there's 2 kinds of spend. There is the fixed expenses, and then there are the variable expenses. And there's a whole class on this. You can go to the courses section and then go to the downloads, go down to the free books and downloads section, and then go to the downloads, and you can pull this up, and it's a Google Doc that you can fill out, and then you print it. And you have one, your spouse has one, and you manage your money on one piece of paper. You're not doing your tax returns. You are just managing your money. You're managing your cash flow, money in, money out. Now, this is where you've got to get going. The problem is that most people are not making enough money in number one. You're not making enough money to get 20% down into automatically invest. If you want to be financially free and you want to be financially free faster, if you want to be wealthy faster, you have to figure out how to get more money into your investments and have your investments make you money. You need to be able to plant as many money trees as you can get, and you need to get them to grow. That's the key, and that's where the wealth side comes in. Now, you need to start with multiple streams of income and the mindset of multiple streams of income. And this is Robert Allen 101. He taught me a ton about multiple streams of income. And I think I've done just about every stream of income he's ever talked about. I don't think I've done coins, gold coins, but I'll probably do that too. But wonderful, wonderful man, wonderful material. And he's letting us use his material. So one of the books that I helped gave him input on, and a lot of my real estate deals are in these books. And so Multiple Streams of Income is a wonderful book, and it's a class that he is allowing us to use because this is a legacy program. He's part of our group. He's a best-selling author, he's an educator, and he's an entrepreneur. He's all of those things. And guess what? You are too. But that's the class you'll go through. Now, when you talk about wealth, you all need to start buying some real estate. You need to flip some real estate. If I said you need to go make $1,000 in the next 90 days or $5,000 or some number, I would not be doing it with business. I would be doing it with real estate because real estate's a business. The difference is you don't have to spend all your time in real estate. Your job is to get a whole toolbox of tools that when you find an opportunity, you can go take advantage of that opportunity. If all you have is a hammer, everything in life looks like a nail, and all you're doing is looking around to find more nails. But if you have a screwdriver, if you have a saw, if you have screws that you can use and hinges and things like that, well, you can build all kinds of stuff. My goal is to help you get a whole toolbox of tools that you can use in order to make more money. On real estate, if I said you got to make money in the next 90 days, in fact, we're going to kick that off tomorrow. We're going to kick off the 90-day challenge. And our goal is to make money in the 7 steps in the next 90 days. We're going to make some money, and we're going to use these 7 steps. In addition to the 5, we're going to be using multiple streams of income. And this is how we do it. Now, there's some wonderful material in my books, the 5 steps, 7 steps in my books, The Success and Money. There's all kinds of great material. Robert Allen, The Road to Wealth is a true story. It's a true story of how Robert Allen and myself and our good friend Blaine Lee went to St. Louis, Missouri. We were challenged by the big newspaper there to prove that we could go out and do the things that we talked about, that you can actually turn your life around and you can make money using real estate. And we took 3 people out of an unemployment line that were out of work. They didn't have any money. They had bad credit. And we taught them how to use real estate as that tool, the 5 F's. Find it, fix it, or find it, fund it, fix it. And then you're either going to farm it or you're going to flip it. One of those 2 things. And that's a wonderful book. And the strategies you learn in there can work with your businesses, it works for your job, it can work for everywhere. The tool we happened to use was real estate. And that's a wonderful book, and that's a wonderful course, and I highly, highly recommend you go through it. And then, of course, the real estate launch. And the other book I want you to read is How to Wake Up the Financial Genius Inside You. This is a wonderful book by our friend Mark Haraldson. Now, real estate is probably the fastest, quickest way to make a chunk of money. It doesn't require your time or your as much energy. You can find a property and you're always looking, you're always looking, you're always looking, you're always looking. The vast majority of properties that are out there for sale don't fit our criteria. Only 3 out of 100 fit our criteria. If you want to make a profit today, if you just want to buy it and hope it goes up in value and make a profit later, well, that's gravy. That's an actual addition. But if you want to make a profit, you've got to find that 3 to 5% that fit our rules. And that's basically what we're doing. And it doesn't matter if you're buying a home or you're buying a multi-million-dollar office complex. They use the same strategies. Because I do an awful lot of investing with big investors now because I'm spending all my time in the foundation. I don't have time to go do the real estate anymore, which I've been doing for 40 years. Now, big business. You want to take that small business, and if you're inclined, we need to turn that on to a big business. Now, how do you do that? Well, you've got to go back to the 25 ways to make more money. That's crucial. And that gives you the basics. Then you need to learn how to scale a business. Michael Gerber trained me personally when I was in my late 20s. And I took our business from I think it was about 5, maybe 7 million a year to 35 million. I 5x'd it in 1 year by simplify and multiply, by simplify and multiply. And I used Michael Gerber because he trained me. He personally flew to San Diego every week and he trained me. And then I worked with my whole company. And then I used The Secrets of Marketing by Jay Abraham. Jay Abraham was a great friend of mine, and we used to pay him $20,000 a month just to work on our business. So, great stuff. You need to learn about sales. You need to learn how to sell something in your whole life. It's another tool. It's another tool. It's another tool. It's another tool in your box. And sales solves problems. So the SAM Sales School, Sam's Success and Money, that's Kurt. And there's all kinds of techniques there. Some of you want to make money with direct sales or multi-level marketing. 98% of you are going to fail miserably. Study the 2%. I've made multiple millions of dollars in multi-level marketing, but I failed twice before I made it work the 3rd time. And this is not a quick get. You're putting in sweat equity. You're putting in time and energy. You can either put money in or you can put your energy in. If you want to do this with network marketing, you can do it, but this is a 5-year term. This is something you got to be dedicated to. And you got to enroll a couple people every month. You need to try and enroll somebody every month, and then you try and teach them how to make money. So there is ways you can make money with network marketing, but you got to be in the 2%, not in the 98%. STEM courses. You should be learning about STEM. Right now, we're talking to people all over the world, and I'm sitting in my office here at my home, looking at my beautiful mountain right there. And I'm talking to people all over the world. 10 years ago, 20 years ago, we couldn't do that, but we can do it today. You need to, it's going to go faster, quicker, and you need to learn how to do that. And here's some introductory classes that you can learn that from. Now, that is key. Now, if you really want to be financially free, your goal is to get as much money into number 4 as you possibly can. And you can do that with your businesses and your job, and you can also do it with your real estate and turn it into big businesses. But the real key is to get it down into number 7. And so the way I've always done stuff is that I've got two special needs adult children, and I had a heart attack when I was 34 years of age. I've been on this earth for 30 years that there's a high probability I shouldn't be here. My wife's doctor a couple days ago passed away at age 54, and he was a really sharp, healthy guy. And boom, he was just gone. I'm lucky. 1/3 of the people have a heart attack die. First sign they have any problems, death. And I don't know why God left me here. Probably to help you get this off the ground and to help you and to take care of these special needs adult children that I have. And to do that, we created the wealth formula. So as we made money at a job, that's what we lived on. So we made money in number one and we lived on it in number five. That's how we survived. That's how we survived. But guess what? My real estate, my businesses, all that stuff, we took all that money, and we got it invested. We made monthly money and chunks of money, all the money from the real estate, all the money from the multi-level marketing, all the money from all these other side hustles we were doing. I didn't spend it to live off of. Guess what? I put it down here because I wanted to build wealth. I wanted to have a whole orchard of money trees. Now, I have great friends that made a crap load of money doing these other things and they spent it all, but you know what? And they lived like a king. They lived like a king and queen. They had these massive houses and beautiful cars and they had a wonderful life with it. My goal is very different. My goals, I had to figure out how to take and help my children to take care of these special needs children. So you need to put money away, and money from multi-level marketing, money from the real estate, every side hustle went right down into number 7. I didn't live on it, didn't go to 5, it went right to 7. And you do that by putting monthly money away, weekly money away, times increase in value. Your money's got to grow. Now, you're not going to go throw the dice, some friend next door that says he's got this hot deal. Forget that. It's not going to happen. You want to invest the 500 biggest companies that make money. That's the key. You want to make you want to go with something that's stable, not something that's throwing the dice. Now you can take 5% of your money and go throw it at something. I've done that. I've taken 10% of our wealth and invested in a company that I thought was going to 10x. And guess what? It went to 0x. I lost all that money, but I went in with my eyes open. All right, times time. Times time. You got to do this over time. This is not a get rich quick. This is a long-term wealth strategy that you can do. Now, if you'll put money in, you'll have a go up in value that beats inflation. Times time, that's going to equal wealth. So our goal is to do both. We want you to be able to create 5 steps to freedom, and we want you to also do the 7 steps to wealth. The goal is to get as much money into the wealth formula and to automatically invest as you can, and then make it grow. So that's the key of making this stuff work. You've got to really work on those last 2, which is the 5 and the 7 steps. Okay. So that's that piece right there. You can always go to successandmoneyfoundation.org and you can learn from there. All the classes are free because our goal is to help you get where you need to go. People ask me, well, why did you invest all that money? Well, in the foundation, well, my wife and I owned a lot of real estate. We've owned real estate for 40 years and we always wanted to make a huge dent with it. And so we just donated some of our real estate and some of our stock. And that's how we've started the foundation. Thanks for watching, everybody. We're going to be right back in our next section. Thanks for watching.